start going. So Brian, how's it going, man?
Great, sir.
All
Loving
right,
it. Loving life.
man. So Leia, do you want to say anything to Prevenge of the Nerds today?
Hi.
Hi. That's it. Really? That's it. Okay. Well,
But hey, it was a high at an appropriate volume level.
it
Let's
was no.
let's 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 give all the kudos for that. Yes.
Yes, we should.
Yes.
All right, Brian. Let's get going. But
Let's do it.
first,
Yes, sir.
have you ever realized that the older you is younger than the you now?
The older me or the older you is younger than the you now.
Yes.
Explain.
So, like you, when you're talking about like the older me, as in my time. So the
Sure.
older me, you're not talking about the future me. You're talking about the past me.
That's a good point when you tell those stories. When you said the older you is always older relative to a younger you. So they still are
Yes.
still younger. Right. Well played, sir.
All
Well
right.
played. And Bradley, is that how you met your mother or your wife or just yeah, just
It
yeah.
must be. It must be, and but probably better than How I Met Your Father.
Yeah. Or how I met your real daddy, which would be now that's the show America needs. Like, look,
Right.
like it'll be like the world's worst drunken toast. Like, hey, I just want to let you know I ain't your real daddy. All right, look, when I met your mom, I thought she, was maybe a little constipated, but she turned out she was pregnant. And by that point, she let me hit it. So I was like, why not? By the way, and this was not on my ward, I'm gonna add it. If you because talking about baby daddies, if you've not, I don't know if you have HBO. Yeah, you do because we talk about Titans all the time. If you've not checked out the Shaq documentary, very well done. Even if you're not a sports fan, check out the Shaq documentary.
All right, we'll do. And with that, let's go ahead and hit that intro. Okay, and apparently a little bit of
Yes, sir.
something going on there. I don't know. Everything kept on pausing on me.
You went Mr. Roboto for a quick. Pardon me. You went Mr. Roboto for a quick second as well.
All right.
Yeah. So I was
Well,
thinking before you hit the music, I was gonna say play that funky music, but it's not really funk. I'm not sure what
right.
genre that would be, but I think we need to, play that play that podcast music.
I
So
like it.
let's
I like it.
we got it. All right, sir.
All right, welcome to the Fandemic Presents Prevenge of the Nerds. We are your one-stop podcast. Every week, we are going to give you all the things to level up your awesome. You can also order my kids' book, Leveling Up My Awesome, on Amazon for $7.99, or contact me for an autographed copy for just a little bit more. And I'm going to have my second book out at the beginning of next month. So here in a couple of weeks, I just got a couple of previews of what it's going to look like. It's going to be awesome.
Or for a little bit more than what your autograph would be, I will sign the book sincerely from Shamar Moore's nipples.
I would pay for that.
Which
Absolutely.
I may need because I'm pretty sure that's libel. So I might need the defense fund. So yeah, so those Patreon and buy us a coffee maybe to get Brian's butt out of jail. All right, sir. Yes.
Awesome. This is how the show is going to go. We're going to start off with our top 5. We'll give you our 2 cents and a penny for our thoughts about all the things that we like, or maybe the things that didn't quite reach our level of awesome and or
And snore.
whew,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes. Then we're going to tell you about the stories that could have led to your favorite movies, TV shows, and so much more. It might be a list, it might be a pitch. One thing's for sure, your awesome will be leveled due to this. To close the show, we're going to play a little pitch, fix, or ditch, except for today, I got something else in mind.
Yes, sir.
I am the self proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butin. And this is my co host, the unverified twin of Shamar Moore, at least in the nipples.
Brian S. Dennis. Well, the S stands for Wednesday.
Welcome to the Fandemic, streaming live on Facebook under Emperor of Awesome, YouTube and Twitch under the Fandemic. So don't forget to like, share, hit all the buttons that remind you on all the platforms. Don't forget to tell your nerdy friends as well so they can level up their awesome. And talk to us in the comments. We like to have fun.
By the way, I do want to make sure everyone knows that Bradley being the Emperor of Awesome was a duly elected Democratic election where every legal vote counted. Now, the only vote that he said was legal that he counted was his own.
Yes.
However, all votes matter as long as they go the way that we want them to.
That is correct.
Yes, sir.
And since I came up with it, no one else put down, so I take the crown.
However, next year I am writing in Howard the Duck.
Fair. I mean, yeah, I think I got a shot against Howard the Duck. Maybe not Cosmo though. Maybe not Cosmo.
Let me give you a quick tangent before we get too much into this
Yeah.
of Howard the Duck. So Howard the Duck was one of my absolute favorite movies growing up as a kid. And so in my house, we only had one VCR, and it was in my mom's room. So Howard the Duck was the first VCR tape. Yes, I'm dating myself, ladies and gentlemen. So think about VCR as Netflix, but you have to return. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a videotape, and the only videotape was mine. Okay, so I could normally watch it just as long as my mom wasn't watching something in there. But one day, and I apparently have watched this thing ad nauseum. All right, because you can tell by the things we talk about, we don't ever just watch and rewatch the same thing. So it was a Sunday morning. My mother was dead asleep, and I went into her room. It was like 6 something in the morning. And I put in the Howard the Duck VHS tape, and that Howard the Duck theme song, Howard the Duck, she came out of a dead sleep and threw her purse at the television because she was so sick of Howard the Duck and actually broke our VCR. So we had to go get a new one that afternoon. So yes, so
Howard the Duck did it.
Howard the Duck did it, and that movie has held up very well, including Jeffrey Jones has shown to be equally truthfully a dark overlord of the universe. So take that for what you will.
Right. And I love that movie too. I haven't watched it in probably decades.
Sure.
And I know it's not the greatest of movies when we go back. However, it's nostalgic. So you know what? Give us a break.
It gave us Leah Thompson in really awkward situations back when Leah Thompson was taking us to space and proving that oh God, what was the movie she did with oh shit, I'm forgetting it now. The love I'm gonna blank. My 80s memory is failing me at this point. But anyway, Leah Thompson was one of the queens of the 80s. So Bradley, what are we doing first up today, sir?
We are going to do our top 5.
The top 5. So are you saying our war report?
The war report.
Rapport.
Yes. Would you like to go first, or would me to take it?
I would love to go first, sir. So
all right,
I got a couple of these I'm thinking you're probably going to touch on as well, so I won't go much into them.
Yep.
So I'm going to start off with which I found was a really great hidden gem on Netflix, and if you've not watched this, you really should, which is a show called Half Bad. And I love it just because this is the official title. If you don't like anything else about the show, you will love the title, Bradley. Here's the official title of the show. It's a British show.
Okay.
Half Bad, The Bastard Son, and the Devil Himself.
Oh, I have seen that. It's on my queue.
It is fantastic. It again proves why Twilight is the worst thing ever to happen with Supernatural. Okay, so the general just stuff because I don't want to give you spoilers. And I actually did a little research on the books that it's based. They made some changes in
Mm-hmm.
the books, basically to work on to make it probably a little more accepting with American audience due to some language differences in between Britain and U.S. English. But anyway, basically there are two types of witches, and witch is the term used for every person with magical powers, male, female, non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
And you're either a fairborn witch, a good witch, or you're a blood witch, a bad witch. And most witches have one power.
Okay.
However, there is a type of witch that has the ability to steal the powers of others, and that is where we get the character Marcus Edge, who basically is this series Voldemort.
Okay.
And he's called the Wolf because he has, again, to draw it Harry Potter. He's got some animagus ability. He can turn into a wolf, among many other things.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually has a son that is born of a blood witch, him, Marcus Edge, and a fairborn witch. And his son is literally raised to try and overthrow his father.
Mm.
And that is where the half bad comes from.
Very
And it
cool.
really gets into the inner dynamics of that witching world. It is wonderfully played out. I think there's 8 episodes in the first season. I already binged the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, so check it out.
Will do.
Next up, one that you suggested, I forgot it was coming out, is the Wednesday series, also on
So
Netflix.
good.
So good. I was a little skeptical after the first episode, but it grew and grew and grew and grew. I am not quite done with it.
I
I'll
have one
probably,
episode left.
I think I have 2, so I'll probably finish
Mhm.
that tonight. The best comment I can give this is that it made me forget about Christina Ricci as Wednesday Addams. The young woman who plays Wednesday does an amazing job. You know, you said you're not the biggest fan of Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman
Mm-hmm.
as Morticia and Gomez, respectively. They actually don't bother me, but you know, to each
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
Titans, I'll leave that one more to you. I get a feeling you're probably going to mention that. Peripheral, great show on Amazon. Again, keep watching it. And then lastly, I actually watched it right before we came on. Tulsa King just continues. If you're not watching Tulsa King, you're really missing out. Sylvester Stallone in this show reminds me anyway, why this guy won an Oscar back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You really see him with acting chops. Brad, are you caught up on Tulsa King?
I am not. Wednesday kind of took over
Okay.
my life
All right.
these last couple days. So
Yep.
I haven't even watched Titans yet.
Okay. Titans
Yeah,
is really
so
good. I will say this for anyone that doubts, because you know we kind of got stuck in Stallone being Rocky and all those sorts of things, Rambo. If you want to see his acting chops, watch the last 5 minutes of episode 2,
Mhm.
and you will truly see. I mean, we talked before about I'm not crying, you're crying because I'm a guy and we don't do those sorts of things.
Right.
He in the last 5 minutes of episode 2, if you know the scene I'm talking about, Brad, shows you that he can just flat out act. So check out Tulsa King, and that is going to be my top 5. Again, I want to lead specifically with Tulsa King, Wednesday, and of course, if you've not watched Half Bad, watch it for no other reason than Half Bad, the bastard son of the devil himself.
Yeah, so I don't really have much to add to yours because we're usually pretty right on
Yep.
these things. Wednesday, fantastic. I love the dance in episode 4. It's so good.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Did you watch that yet?
Have not. How is that?
I loved it.
Okay.
It goes super fast. Yeah, fantastic. And yes,
Is it all Groot, or is there other things in there as well?
actually, Groot's not in it very much.
Oh, really?
It's
Okay.
more of a Drax and Mantis than it
Nice.
is.
Okay.
Actually, probably the 3 top billings. I'm gonna say it would probably be Drax, Mantis, and Kevin Bacon.
Wait, Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin married my cousin, Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, that is my lovely thing to share about Kevin Bacon. He and Kira Cedric found out they've been married for well over a decade. They're extremely distant cousins, but again, me because I'm from the South, just I'm very proud to say Kevin Bacon and Kira Cedric are cousins. so they married their cousins.
Yeah.
Or as I like to say, they went Lannister.
Not all the way, but close.
Not no, no, not all the way. There was no throwing small children out of windows we're aware of anyway.
Yeah. And then I do want to talk a little bit about Andor. I finished it. Man, I
Bruh.
don't get where all the love is coming from. I'm not going to say a lot because I like to keep things positive. Um, cool. They were building part of the Death Star. Nobody saw that coming. This is a spoiler, by the way. Yeah. Enough said about that. Yellowstone. Are you watching Yellowstone?
I have not. That is definitely starting Yellowstone though.
Okay. Yep. So I gotta watch Tulsa. I think we'll probably watch the rest of Wednesday, and then we'll probably watch Tulsa
Sure,
King before bed
sure,
tonight.
sure, sure.
And then
Or
I'm
as I
gonna check
call
out the
Yellowstone, the Beth Keaton show. I mean, she just the Beth
Yeah.
and Rip show. I mean, that relationship is just so good.
Yeah,
So
they
good.
deserve a spinoff.
They
If
really,
Yellowstone,
they really do.
they're
But
doing one more season
I
after
think
this,
so.
right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I kind of want to see again. Somehow, I really want to see the mayor of Youngstown somehow run into Beth, and him and Rip was into a fight. That's really
Yeah.
if Taylor Sheridan, if you're listening, and we know you are, just give us that.
Mhm.
Give us, give us the mayor of Youngstown, Kingstown, and Rip, just going full on. Give me Jeremy Renner. Sans bow and arrow, just going in. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah, man, he's creating such a great universe, and he's not done. And we got 1923 coming out here
Yep,
in a couple
yep,
weeks. So
yep.
yeah,
I wonder will at some point we catch up? Like will like 2019? Like wait, what?
yeah.
Okay, sure, all right.
I mean, I would like to see a Josh Lucas led '90s version, 1990s,
Yeah,
whatever, because
yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah.
Josh Lucas does a great younger Kevin
Right?
Costner. Man,
He
I
really
mean,
does.
I wouldn't have called it. I
He
mean,
really.
he's kind of just
Yep.
been the voice of Menard, or is it Menards? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and plus, after you get blown up by Nick Nolte in the Incredible Hulk, well, the Hulk,
Mhm.
and you steal a girl from Patrick Duffy. I mean, there's nowhere else to go but up at this point. So
Right,
yeah,
right. So
right, yeah, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, man. Oh, are you looking forward to anything coming up this week?
Um, again, it's catching on a lot of things that are already out there.
Mhm.
What is coming out on like this? December 22nd is a date that's in my head, but I forget what is debuting that day. I have to Google it to
Mm.
find out. But I know something's coming out on December 22nd, and it's really bugging me right now that it is not striking my brain. But I'm sure there'll be things we'll talk about
Oh yeah.
on future podcasts. So again, it's catching up, especially Yellowstone. Is one of my absolute favorite shows, and I just again a show that not necessarily would be my cup of tea.
Mm.
He Sheridan creates such a wonderful universe and every character. And honestly, I watch to see at some point it's Wes Utley that's gonna just man up against his pops. Like
Yeah.
at some point, dude, come on now, you are the son of the devil, and you stood up to him in Ghost Rider. Give me a little something here. Costner plays a really good bastard. He
Mhm.
really does.
Yeah.
He typically has always played good guys.
Yeah.
And just to see him play the very much middle of the road anti-hero in Dutton, I think the Dutton Patriarch, I think, because at the end of the day, he's really not a nice guy. He really isn't.
No. No.
He definitely is the country godfather. He moves the chess pieces around the board, including his children.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that he has those moments of moral question or quandary, but it doesn't usually make him change his behavior.
Yeah.
So I think that's done really, really well.
Yeah, and you can't, and you're doing something right when when you're supposed to not like Jamie, but you can't help but kind of like
Yeah,
the guy.
you
You're like,
feel bad for him. You just want to
right.
like, come on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, and you root for all the stable hands.
yeah.
You just want and unlike you, sir, I am still Sans Inc. But I have made up my mind that if I decide to go there, I have two pieces in mind. One will be the map of Middle Earth on my back, and then on the chest, yes, sir, the Y yellow, the Yellowstone Y. I just going to go real big and like, well, there it is, sir.
You're
There,
branded. You're
yeah, I
branded.
am. I am. I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
And
We,
what
we, we,
now?
we won't unpack what that really means that I'm choosing to be branded as a black man in America, but it may happen.
I mean, I think it's okay as long as Beth is doing the branding.
I'm we do have some young children that are in the audience, so I will just leave that right there, or we would have to hit the scroll of "Do you boo boo." So
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that, we're gonna keep it pushing, sir.
You're good. All
Anything
right.
else on your war report?
No, man, no. Let's go ahead and why don't we hit me with some honest advertising?
All right, so these are going to be my themes. So Brad and I talked about we want to have themes for the months going forward. So now that we are now, even though we are recording on November 27th, 2022, by the way, we hope everyone had a happy, healthy, fun, and most importantly, safe Thanksgiving, whether you are alone or surrounded by lots of others. We really hope everyone got what they needed over the holiday weekend. And then obviously we've got some other things coming later in the month. So with that, I decided that my honest ad that we're going to do from now through the end of our recordings for 2022 is I'm going to give you an honest ad of a Christmas movie. So anyone that's been listening to this podcast knows that for the most part, I don't like traditional Christmas movies. The
Mhm.
greatest Christmas movie is Die
Die
Hard.
Hard.
There's no discussion about that. Number
Violent Night. Violent Night comes out this week.
That's what it is.
Whew, it
And
comes
that's
out
not December. Yeah, Violent Night, or they like to call it Hopper in a Red Soup. Okay.
right.
I just really want there to be some type of Winona Ryder 11 sighting. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to review and give an advertisement for a more traditional holiday, quote unquote, classic. So here we go. So I figured where else to start than one of the most treasured holiday movies ever, which is It's a Wonderful Life.
Hmm.
So here's the honest advertisement for It's. By the way, Bradley, have you seen It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, many times. Many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would love your feedback on this advertisement when I'm done. So here it is, the honest ad for It's a Wonderful Life. The story of a man who proves that no good deed goes unpunished. Save your brother's life, lose your hearing. Return home to run the family business. Your weirdo uncle will lose all the profits. And worst of all, if you're a woman who is unmarried, has no kids by the age of 30, you will die alone and are completely unloved. So, how does this holiday classic teach us to respond to our problems? That's right, suicide. Unlike most time travel stories where you put right what once went wrong or use a magical trinket to fight off dementors or even just, hit on your mom. The lesson George Bailey learns is this: nothing. Not a damn thing. The entire 131 minutes of the film teaches us that no matter how jacked up your life is, just go with it. Ride that wave, because any attempts you make to take control of your own life will be met with pain, death, and a murdering pharmacist for some reason. After all, having every decision made of your adult life, having every decision of your adult life made for you, really does make you the richest man in town. And that, Bradley, is the honest advertisement for It's a Wonderful Life.
That is sadly spot on.
Because he doesn't, okay, at the end of the movie, and I watched it just to make sure I'm really being fair.
Right, right, right.
And that's basically what it is. Clarence basically goes, look, no, we're going to redo everything and you're going to get your old life back. But his life was every decision that he made as an adult was for someone else's benefit. He did nothing for himself. Nothing. And at the end of the day, them go, oh, you're the richest man in town because you do everything for us. So it's like, this is an odd message to send. And again, poor Donna Reed. And I love this. I think they even call her a spinster because she's like 30 and she's not married with no kids. Oh, she's just that was her big thing. Everybody else, like his brother, again, if you've not seen It's a Wonderful Life, obviously you haven't picked up it now. Spoiler alert. But his brother dies. The
Mhm.
pharmacist goes to jail. The banking and loan, the building and loan falls apart. All these horrible things happen. But what happens to Donna Reed is she's just single. And that's the tragedy.
Yeah,
She's single. She's single and has no kids. She's like 30, 32 years old.
it's a
And
wonderful life.
yeah, like, oh God, how dare you? So, and yes, the movie came out back in the day. I get all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But again, It's a
Wow.
Wonderful Life. And here's what if it came out today, this would be my tagline. It's a Wonderful Life. Is it? And
Or
that would be
for
it.
who?
For who? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Clarence got his wings, man.
Right. Yeah.
Clarence got his wings. All right.
Well done,
Thank you.
sir. Very,
Thank
very
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Wow. So, Brian,
Sir.
what are we talking about today, man?
All right. So again, playing pardon me. Again, giving some deference to we're moving into December, the last month of our calendar year. Again, whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, don't celebrate anything at all, typically because the end of the year, we look back on things and go, things we're grateful for, thankful for, we appreciate it, or just what are some of the best things we have going for ourselves. So, as you've noticed by this podcast, Brad and I watch a lot of television. A lot of
Yep.
television. Probably always have watched a lot of television. So, with
True.
that being said, we go, hey, what are some of our favorite TV theme songs? So, Brad and I never discuss our list ahead of time, but we're just going to discuss what are some of our favorite theme songs. I have some honorable mentions. I have my top
Mhm.
five, but we're just going to discuss these. What about them do we really like? And then see if we have any things in common. So, again, our favorite theme songs.
All right. So, Brian,
Sir,
you know what? You mind if I go first?
please do. I'll keep track.
All right. So, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions first. And I thought this was going to be a harder list for me to come up with than it was.
Same.
And so I started thinking. I automatically I knew what my number one and my number two, and number three were going to be. My top
Same.
three I knew,
Same.
and then the more I thought about it, I'm like, what was influential? Like, what TV themes meant the most to me? Maybe not the best out there, but to me, right?
Mhm.
And so I started putting these together. So I had to start with my honorable mentions with the simple, how do you get to Sesame Street?
Well done.
It's iconic.
Yes.
Everybody's heard it. It means something to everybody. I mean, like everybody knows this. And Sesame Street is one of those only things in the world that we can all agree on.
You
How
see
do
the
we get
head
to
bob
Sesame
because
Street?
all I can do is hear it in my head now.
Yeah, exactly. So
You could
after,
say that theme song was the first GPS.
ooh,
Did you
that's
like that?
deep. I
Did you
love
like?
it.
All right.
Huh. So once you get to Sesame Street,
Yes, sir.
you need to meet the Flintstones.
Yabba dabba
Dabba,
do.
right? That's another one of those. Everybody's heard it. Everybody
Absolutely.
instantly
Absolutely.
recognizable,
Yep.
influential to so many people.
Yep.
And so this is where my head was going with a lot of these. So then I started thinking, there is another one of these that, kind of little update. It's been updated several times.
Okay.
It's kind of brought back a little bit in the forefront with Wednesday, but the Addams Family.
Got you.
So another honorable mention, the Addams Family,
Yes, sir.
the two snaps. I mean, who doesn't know that? I mean, it was even spelled out, right?
Yes, sir.
So after the Addams Family, so you're going around and you might be in California. You might be in a certain zip code. 90210.
Da-da-da. Oh,
Bum
oh,
bum. Right.
yes,
You know
yes,
it's right there.
yes, yes.
Right
By the
there.
way, I think I've seen maybe 2 or 3 episodes of 90210, but I know that theme song. I
Right.
know I would literally, not to take your time,
Yeah,
I
you're
would
good.
literally turn to something else, but I would get through the theme song. Da
Yeah.
da 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 da. Yeah, yeah, because it was just a catchy ass song. So yes,
Right.
sir. Good
Yeah.
choice. Very good choice.
And then I'm gonna round up my honorable mentions with probably the greatest of all Superman shows, Smallville.
Okay.
Somebody save me. I mean,
Yep.
you can see that
Yes.
intro in your head.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and you know where it's going. You know who instantly who it is. It's
I see Tom Welling tied up in a cornfield, shirtless,
with the
while
S.
with the S, while slowly the sweat drips down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just okay. Please continue.
No, you're good. You're good. That's fine.
Yes. Give me
Uh,
just. I may have to go off camera for a moment, but yes, I do understand.
are you sure? Maybe you're not the identical twin of unverified twin of
I
Tom
keep
Welling.
telling you, I paid Elon Musk the money. I'm verified, man.
uh, awesome, awesome. So, getting into my top five.
Yes, sir.
When you're thinking of the iconic TV intros,
Sure.
there's one that pops that instantly makes you think of the mysterious, the weird.
Yes.
You have two FBI agents, Mulder and Scully, and who can forget that eerie
Yes.
intro of the X Files?
Yeah, I would get underneath the covers just because of that. Like, what is happening?
Right there, that
Possibly also because of Dana Scully. But anyway, just yes, yes. I mean, yes,
Ye-
yes,
yes to both. Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
yes, yes, yes,
So going back to the 60s, there was a TV show, and this TV show starred Adam West, and he was the greatest of all Batman. But the intro to Batman 1966 is
hmm
another one of those you're never going to forget it.
no, 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 no. Yes,
You're never ever going to forget the
yes,
intro to Batman
yes,
66.
yes.
So after that, I'm going to go a little more current. This is probably now I'm in my top 3.
Yes, sir.
And there's a one intro that every time it's on, you have to watch it and listen to it because the score is just so amazing. And in the intro, it's going to show you all the places that you might go to in that episode, from Westeros, from all over the Game of Thrones,
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
right?
Yes.
Now, number 2.
I wanted to learn violin. The
Right?
first time I heard that, I was like, "Who teach?" I was like, "Teach me,
Right? Yeah, you're like,
teach me
I
your
love
voodoo.
this.
How do you do this?" Yes,
I mean, there's certain like I listen to that in my car. I mean, I
yes,
will listen to that when I'm trying to sleep.
yes, yes,
Love that intro.
yes, yes. Absolutely.
Now, my runner up
All right,
is probably the greatest animated show's theme ever.
all right.
Straight out of the 90s and comes from the greatest of Marvel teams, the X-Men animated series.
How excited are you for X-Men to return?
Oh, so excited. Is there a date on that yet?
No, they said early 23. That's the last
Okay.
I saw was early 23.
Right, right. So there's my number 2. My number 1 is a show that came out just this last year.
Okay.
And It's very, very unforgettable. It kind of calls back to one of the greatest of all video games, Space Invaders. I'm
Oh,
talking about
how did I forget?
Peacemaker.
Pause. You won the list this week. Okay? Just because I'll tell you when you get done, I'll tell you how many matches we have.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, the fact that Peacemaker is not on my list shows that I failed. My dude. The, the, I,
Yeah. It's the greatest intro ever.
yes. Yes. The dance, the intro, this
Yeah. The
they take it
silliness.
so serious.
Right.
Just it's I've rewatched the entire series. I just
Several
on one
times.
season, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've rewatched it several times, and it holds up so well,
Yeah.
so well. Like it's just great. It's just
And
great.
the show had the show should not have been good.
It no way.
And
Because
I
again,
mean,
I think I shared with you. I personally like Suicide Squad better
mhm,
than So I like the original versus the
mhm.
sequel. And I really didn't love the Peacemaker character because I was a Rick Flag guy, and again, not
Yeah.
just spoiler alerts, but I was a Rick Flag fan. So when I got like, okay, I'm gonna watch it just because and I'll tell you right now, part of the reason I watched because of this podcast.
Yeah.
If we were not doing this show, I would have watched it eventually, but
Mhm.
it wouldn't allow. But I intentionally go, let me watch this, and it had me at the theme song.
Yeah.
It had me at the thing. So Eagly at the end, Judo Master. Like, why is Judo Master only this big? By the way, they never explain because in the comics he's parallel to the other characters, but he's like this big, and he's in Cena's arms. He's on Cena's shoulder. I'm sorry, he's on
Yeah.
Cena's shoulder, and I just like, what is this? And it's just like whatever it is, I want more of it in my life. Yes.
Can you imagine the writing room when James Gunn's like, and we're gonna bring in the the Robert Patrick's guy,
Yeah.
the the
Yeah.
Nazi,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
White. Yeah.
And,
White Dragon.
yeah,
Yeah.
White Dragon. I'm like, can you imagine the looks on everybody's face? They're like, huh?
The fact, and I'm not sure, and I'm guessing they've probably done the Emmys and stuff at this point for what this fell into. But let's be real about, and again, tangents, folks.
Mhm.
The fact that they took again a comic book character who is legitimately the head of a sect of Nazis and made him, while he's the villain, he's a character that you were captivated by.
Mhm.
And that speaks to Robert Patrick's acting.
Oh
That
yeah.
speaks to James Gunn's writing. I mean, I mean, but that is hard to do. It's
Yeah.
really easy to go, okay, that's the villain. We want him dead, and go do your thing.
Yeah.
Versus they made sure with the flashbacks with the older brother and all these things, like you really on some level wanted White Dragon and Peacemaker to hug. It's
Right.
like, can they come on? Like it's just vigilante. I mean, they made so many just great choices, and I'm just so excited for season 2. I didn't let's see when it's coming out,
Mhm.
and we said it before. We are both fans of professional wrestling.
Mhm.
When people talk about professional wrestling and acting, you get The Rock, aka Teth Adam, aka Black Adam, aka the Scorpion King. However, John Cena in this. Have you ever seen Daddy's Home 2?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, John Cena has legitimate acting chops.
Well, even cock blockers.
Yes,
I mean, he's
yes.
fantastic in that. So I mean,
He does several commercials.
yeah.
I mean, the guy actually. If I had a choice between that and getting Tombstone pounded by the Undertaker, I might make other choices too. So Cena again, just again, whoever gives out awards, John Cena, whether he wins or not, I think Peacemaker is one of those shows that,
Mhm.
as nerds, we go, this is so much better. Had any right to be, and again, it submits certain people as if I had a product I was bringing to the big or small screen. They're who I'm trusting. I'm trusting, James Gunn. I'm trusting
Yeah.
your boy, John Favreau. You
And
know, Yes.
And James Gunn, he's got the keys to the DC kingdom right now.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes. Yes. So, and by the way, we mentioned earlier a JSA movie. I would love to see their take of Wildcat and Mr. Terrific are two of my favorite characters,
really?
as well as Alan Scott's Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I would just love to do that. But by the way, and last 10 before we get to my list is wouldn't it just is Arbor Day like Alan Scott's like most afraid moment?
Yeah.
Like no, like if you want to beat him, wouldn't you just take him like to a forest? What you gonna
Right
do?
into the forest. Yeah, and
No, take it to a greenhouse. No, there's foliage everywhere. I don't know what to do. Yeah,
so we should probably explain why we're laughing on this. Well done, sir.
thank you.
I hope you know this. Listeners, I hope you know this. But
There
the
is a Green
original,
Lantern before the Green Lanterns that
right,
most of
Hal
us know.
Jordan,
Yes,
and
yes.
they made his biggest weakness
Wood.
wood.
And it never really gives us a good estimate because by the way, his powers are magical. So it's
Right,
not the ring
not the
thing.
ring power.
He literally has a magical lantern. That's where he's going.
Yeah,
It's called the Green Lantern.
and they've retconned it
Yeah.
somewhat, but
So,
yeah,
but yeah, his in the game an eye patch, which is cool. Everybody looks more badass with an eye patch.
and they made him
Uh,
gay.
yeah, and hey, good for them.
Yeah, and,
Like for real, for real.
yeah,
But I think if anything's going to make Chris Hemsworth hotter, it was an eye patch. You know,
true.
so you know,
And a dad
Charlton
bod.
Heston. Yeah, yeah, dude, dude. Yeah, chubby Thor. That's my boy right there. I
That's
was
right.
like, that's what's up. I hate it when they go, he did the hard yards. No, I want my Thor chubby.
Yeah,
I want my Thor chubby and drunk. That's what I want my Thor.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? So every time they show him with the chiseled abs, I'm still one from the people that dislike the mermaid. You know what? That's not my Thor.
Not my Thor.
Not my Thor. Absolutely.
I
All
can
right.
get behind this. I can get behind this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was a. Do you have? Did I get? So did we finish your list? Or did I interrupt you too much?
No, you're good. Yeah, don't. I got through mine.
All right. Cool. All right, sir. So before I get to my list, let me tell you, we have 3 matches.
Ooh.
We have 3 matches, which I was really surprised at.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to give you mine, and I'm going to start off. My first honorable mention is our first match, and I agree with you. Maybe we were both influenced by the Wednesday show, but it's fantastic. Which again is da 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 da. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So the Addams Family is fantastic. Next up, this one we really, and I'll tell you, this list was absolutely influenced by my mom, Dorothy Dennis, R.I.P. Her favorite television show was MASH. So
Almost made mine.
So, and if you don't know the name of the MASH theme song, which is also in the movie, yes, MASH was a movie, is the song "Suicide Is Painless," which is a beautiful song.
Yep.
Just a beautiful song. So I picked that. I have 3 songs that are completely instrumental, but it was when I would hear it, similar to the 90210 is not on my list, but I would hear just that. And again, going back to when I was a little kid, one of the first shows that made me into this sci-fi nerd thing that we do our podcast on, the theme song from Knight Rider. Dun,
oh yeah.
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun. My mom's 81 Pontiac in my brain when we were driving me to school.
We talked.
It was great.
Man.
Now, this is another one. Again, as a black guy grew up in the South, I had this toy. I had the little orange car with the Confederate flag, talking about the good old boys.
The General A.
Yep, the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah.
The Dukes of Hazzard. By the way, Catherine Bach, thank you.
I think we should take a moment of silence just to
For
remember those shorts.
So many young men and women across the globe who grew up from like 78 to 90. Thank you. All right.
I lost you. There you go. There.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back.
Okay.
We really did take a moment of silence for the Daisy Dukes.
We did. Yes, we really did.
Before there was a slave bikini on Princess Leia, there was the Daisy Dukes.
Before there was one. Well, after there was one woman, but yeah. So Catherine Bach, God bless you. All right, and then Bradley, which I have thought about that if we ever wanted to have another theme song for the show, this would be it. Because I just want to let you know something, sir. Thank you for being a friend.
Yes.
Travel
Oh,
down the road and
yeah.
back again.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Not Cheers, Golden Girls.
Or go. Oh my gosh. Well, yep. I don't know why Cheers didn't make my list either.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I thought real close about Cheers.
Yeah.
To me, Cheers and Mash were kind of the same, like just really good overall songs.
Hmm.
So I went with Mash. Other than that, all right. So that's my honorable mention. So now let's get to my top five. So first up in my top five again is
Oh, I
the
lost you
second of
again.
the purely instrumental songs. You hit it nail on the head. Game of Thrones / House of Dragon. That
Yeah.
song that yeah, it was again, I was a late convert to
Uh
anyone that
huh.
knows me knows if everybody's watching something, I usually go, yeah, whatever. Right? This is too much group thing for me. So I haven't watched the first Game of Thrones episode until I think it was like 3 seasons in.
Hmm.
And it got me again, for those of you that don't watch the show, if you haven't watched it, you should. Okay, the first you'll be okay. All right, but with that being said, like Bradley just talked about, not only is it's the intro, which again gives you what Westeros and Easteros, and the narrow sea and the wall, and it shows you literally the map, and the map would change. So
Hmm.
like when Winterfell gets sacked, yes, spoiler alert, like it's burned. Like, I mean, all these great things that at the time that had to take to do that for 10 episodes every season of the show is tremendous. But then you have that just big, resounding, epic theme song. It's just so
Hmm.
perfect. And again, when they did House of Dragon, and that's the same theme, or at least
Yeah.
if it's not the same, it's really similar. Again, like there it is. There it is. Okay. But I was out of the way they were going to come with a different theme song. They kept it the same or really similar. Dig
Hmm.
it. Okay. Next up, this is a song I love, Joe Cocker. So the original Wonder Year series.
Yeah.
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
Would you
Would you
stand up and?
stand up and walk out on me? That's a great question to ask someone too. Like we on like
Yeah.
maybe that first date, like for real, like forgive my horrible singing, but what
Right.
would you do if I sang out of tune?
And
Would,
if they don't respond with
yeah,
the next other song, stand up and
it's
walk out of me.
yeah. We've talked before of the
Yeah.
of the deal breakers. If you truly are a nerd and you like trying to hang out with friends, other whatever. Again, one of my go tos. If I say this to you, if you don't know the next of it, which is Dawes and Cass living together. Master Stare, dude, really?
What? Which one?
Dogs and cats living together.
Doesn't cast for living together.
Mass Hysteria from Ghostbusters, bruh.
Oh my gosh!
I may
Yeah.
divorce you,
Wow.
or,
Wow, man.
or I'll give you one more chance to redeem
All
yourself.
right. All right.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
Kill my father. Prepare to die.
There it is. There it
Yes.
is. You didn't do it in Mandy Patinkin's broken
I
Spanish, but that's okay.
I
Uh,
I, I figured it would have been too bad, and I didn't want. I thought about it
that's
for a
okay.
second
That's
there,
okay.
and I went. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, probably the coolest person ever named Mandy is Mandy Patinkin. All right.
It's true.
Okay, next up, again, came up, love this. Probably the one of the worst rap songs, but one that everybody knows. Uh, uh, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. Yes, sir. Fresh Prince of Bel
Yeah.
Air.
Well done.
Yes. It
Yeah.
little again, cool thing to do. Go back and watch the first episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Will Smith has come out many, as has Quincy Jones, who's produced the show, and that Will Smith was so nervous and wanted to get his lines right. He learned the entire script. So if you go back and spend and watch the first episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, you can see him mouthing the lines that the other cast members are going to say when he's not speaking, because he had learned the entire script. That you can see him. There's a great one. Uncle Phil's talking, and you can see his lips moving with what Uncle Phil's saying to know when he's supposed to come and do his part. Great show. Anyway, great show. All right.
Love it.
Okay. The next one and the last that we matched on, of course, Batman 66. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you know it's gonna be there.
Yep.
That is my number two because my number one also with no words, but one of those things that I always thought I very proudly have made it this late in my life without ever having been arrested, and hopefully the trend continues. However, if I was to ever get, and it's not Bad Boys, if I was to
Oh,
ever get arrested, the song that I want to be played, because remember, our justice system is represented by two yet vital systems of government. Gong gong, da 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 da. Yes, sir. The Law and Order. I love my troll dog, which is my fidget. The Law and Order theme song, old school.
the original.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
Jared Orbach, R.I.P.
Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Did you ever watch the reboot, the rebooted original?
I tried.
Me too.
It was something lacking.
I
Yeah.
real so yeah, real quick, Criminal Minds. Did you watch the
You
new
ever
Criminal?
mentioned Criminal Minds Evolution? The
I
first
forgot about.
episode you got to work a little bit, but the second episode is really good.
Yep,
Um,
100%.
they the Mr. Mantegna plays a little tries to play Mandy Patinkin, the broken BAU
Mhm,
officer. I mean, it's still a little different. You don't got Thomas Gibson for reasons. You
mhm,
don't got Shamar Moore for reasons.
mhm.
But um, with the cast that's still there, I think it is going really well. I think it'll continue. And the
Cool
BA,
story.
yeah, it's a cool story. So, by the way, that should have been in my war as well, in my top five.
Yep.
So again, by the way, and I tell where everything is streaming, I think, uh, uh, but if you do want to watch against Criminal Lines Evolution, which takes like a 3-year time job, basically COVID. So check that out on Paramount Plus. It's really, I think it's 2 episodes in,
Mhm.
really good show, and it really is getting you the things that you like most about Criminal Minds. So check that
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So yep, so that is my list, sir.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
And now you say that, and I'm like, man, I should have had Transformers. I should have had GI Joe. I should have had
Yes.
Pop. Like, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I you should have had all that in there, and then with your Law and Order, man.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
Because
you, sir.
who doesn't know the dung? I mean,
Yes. Yes. Like I've known people that have gone to jail and sadly, and they were kind of disappointed that when like the cell closes, they almost wanted to hear gong, you know.
right.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
So similar to like if you ever meet someone that's a criminologist, they have the Who song when they take off their sunglasses.
hmm
Like oh yeah, so it was absolutely, and that hurt my throat. So but Law and Order number one, and again, we matched on 3, so we both had 10
yeah.
of the out of 20 possibles, we matched on 3. And for us not talking about it, think about the amount of theme songs. Proof yet again, sir. You are my tag team partner. You are my brother from another mother.
100%. Except maybe not in the nipple. Yeah,
I,
that's Shamar Moore.
I've been told that you and Shamar Moore have the same earlobes.
That is a proven fact.
Yes.
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 He is part Emperor of Awesome.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. As well as I have heard that if you are shirtless, while I share the nipples, you have the pecs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Brian,
Ask Caleb to come on. So really, no, I'll leave it alone. All right, sir. Yes, sir.
you got you have some
I got some
older.
which came first.
Which came first for me? Let's hear it.
Yes. So again, taking a theme with us moving to the holiday season. So what I have for you are 5. Which came first? Each one of these are things that I actually got for Christmas as a kid.
Okay.
And I'm curious if you could tell me which came first.
Okay.
Are you ready, sir?
Bring it. I'm ready.
Which came first?
The egg or the chicken?
Yes, the feather.
The feather.
Or if I really want to be a jerk, say which came first, the guy. All right, so kids, if you don't get that joke, ask your parents, and they'll explain. All right, here we go. So which I can't do it. Okay, which began first? Yeah, thank you for do you boo boo. All right, here we go. So which came first? Connect 4 or Hungry Hungry Hippos?
So, funny story about Hungry Hungry Hippos is that we at B&B Theaters here in town, we have adult Hungry Hungry Hippos where you sit on
Sure.
it and you get it. It's in our arcade. It's awesome, super
Nice.
fun.
Nice.
And I am gonna say Hungry Hungry Hippos comes before Connect Four.
You would be wrong, sir. Connect
Oh.
Four, 1974. Hungry Hungry Hippos, 1978.
Okay, okay. So, have you seen the new like slot? Like, is like a Rubik's cube? Like you could move whole lines of Connect Four now.
No.
Yeah, there's like a new version. Looks super cool. It's like
Oh,
called the Connect
nice.
Four sliders or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Very cool. And since you mentioned that, we'll just jump to this one. Which came first, the Rubik's Cube or the Stretch Armstrong doll?
That. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is going to be kind of a closer one. I think Stretch Armstrong came out in the early to mid 60s.
Okay.
But I think that the Rubik's Cube came out in the early 60s. You know what? No, I don't. You know what? I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say Stretch Armstrong because thinking back, I don't. I don't remember my grandma talking about it or anything. I think Stretch Armstrong. Final answer.
Stretch Armstrong would be correct.
Oh, I changed my mind. That never works. Yes. Oh.
Now, a little more information. So, the Rubik's Cube was actually invented first, but it was not available for sale until after
Oh.
Stretch Armstrong. So, Stretch Armstrong was available for sale in 76. Rubik's Cubes came out for sale in 1977. So, that's the date I used. When could you have gotten it as a gift? Would have been 1977. All right, so you're
Gotcha.
1-1 so far.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so we got three more to go. Which was first, the game Monopoly or a Slinky?
Oh. So I think that Monopoly's been around since the 70s. I think the Slinky has been around a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna go. I think the Slinky predates Monopoly.
Unfortunately, you are wrong.
Ooh.
Monopoly came out in 1935.
1935, really?
Yes, sir. It's one of the first big board games across the country. The Slinky came
Wow.
out also a long time ago, 1943.
Wow.
Both of them are older than you would think. So Monopoly
Okay.
35, Slinky 43. All right.
Okay.
Next up, gonna go a little more recent with games.
Okay.
So both of these were video games that I got. So which came out first? Tecmo Bowl
Okay.
or Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Oh, you're going straight to the NES.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Of course. Of course. Bradley, did you know that giving a person CPR is like treating a person like an NES game and you're just blowing into the fix them?
yes, I did know that actually. Yeah. I think Tecmo Super Bowl came out before Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I think that was one of the original games. I think Mike Tyson's Punch Out came out a couple years into Nintendo because Nintendo came out in 85.
Yep.
And I think I remember playing Tecmo Super Bowl before I played Mike Tyson's Punch Out because I know Mike Tyson got big about that time as
Yep.
well.
He definitely got big about that time. Yes, sir.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Tecmo Super Bowl.
So final answer is Tecmo Super Bowl. Is that correct?
Final answer, yes.
I am
Tecmo
so
Super Bowl.
sorry, sir. You are wrong.
Oh.
But you want to know how close you were?
How close?
Tyson's Punch Out came out first in September of 87. Tecmo Bowl came out right for the Christmas rush in December of 87. 3 months apart.
Wow.
3 months apart.
Wow.
and then we got one. Now, unfortunately, the most you can do is
I
get two
lose.
right out of the 5.
Yep.
But let's finish strongly, sir.
That's right.
Again, back to things that we both probably had under our tree and in our rooms, and it was not Daisy Duke or Catherine Bach, but what it was would be,
Sadly.
sadly,
Yeah.
what it was would be either which one of these came first, and by came first, I mean the toy. So both of these have had comic books, both
Okay.
of these have had television series, but which of the toys
Okay.
came first? Which is Transformers or Thundercats?
Ooh. So in my brain, so Transformers came out in the early 80s, 83, 84. Thundercats is getting pretty similar, but
They're
Thundercats
very
was
close. They are very close. I'll tell you that.
yeah, so Thundercats in my brain is almost a spin-off of He-Man.
Okay.
So I am gonna say Transformers predates Thundercats.
Is that
Final
your
answer.
is that your final answer?
Yes.
You are correct.
Whew.
Transformers, but it's really close.
Yeah.
Transformers comes out roughly a year before Thundercats. Transformers comes out 84, as well as so Transformers and GI Joe came out around the same time in
Mhm.
84. Thundercats came out with that next generation inspired by He-Man, like you said, in 85.
Yes. Yeah, man, and all made awesome toys, man.
Yes,
We had some good growing up when we
bruh.
had
The
Transformers and He-Man,
storylines you could tell in your room between the Transformers, Thundercats, GI Joe, Masters of the Universe,
Brave Star. Oh man.
Brave Star. I even had a couple GoBots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Brian, GoBots make it to the Guardians of the Galaxy. GoBots are canon Marvel now.
Yes. Yes.
And you know what else? I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen Guardians of the you haven't seen. I don't want to spoil anymore for you.
Okay, I will definitely check it out though.
But there is a
Now,
name drop.
okay.
There's two name drops really, but it's actually kind of the same person.
Sure.
That when you hear it, I want you to text me
I got
and
you.
be like, dude,
I got you.
dude.
I got you. I got you. All
Yes.
right. So just as we go back through our list, you got 2 of the 5 correctly. So unfortunately, the ones you missed were Connect Four versus Hungry Hippos, Monopoly versus Slinky. And again, I knew Monopoly. I thought Monopoly came out earlier than you did, but it being 35, I was actually quite surprised.
Wow.
It seemed like one of those timeless games that everybody has played, as well as the Slinky. I'm like, it's a you know bent piece of metal, but it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Because walks upstairs. And then you said that Tecmo Bowl came out before Tyson's Punch Out. But the ones you did get correct was you said that Stretch Armstrong beat Rubik's Cube, and that you had Transformers before Thundercats. So 2 out of 5, sir. Not bad at all. 2 to 3. Great job, sir. Great job. Because these were tough. These were tough.
Those were tough. Those were very tough. But I learned something today, so that works pretty awesome. Now, so I figured we are going to be making some changes to Revenge of the Nerds after episode 50. So this is episode 47. So we're going to finish out the year. The rest of the year, we're going to do kind of our best of for the year. We used to same kind of way the show is going to go, as you love. However, both Brian and I have amazing creative brains, and we are always trying to make things better. So, Brian, let's talk a little bit on how we're going to kind of format this show starting in the new year.
Sure. Well, a couple things we've talked about is actually breaking things down where, as you all know, sometimes our podcasts get a little lengthy because Brad and I just enjoy each other, and this is really fun. So to try to keep ourselves before we're going too far into tangent, make sure we see our ideas out. We're gonna sort of break up our show with kind of we're gonna do the prequel and the sequel more or less. So we're gonna talk about it from the front end and then go, hey, here's what will happen next. So whether that is, again, looking at a particular product like a movie, like a television show, like an idea, we'll probably go back into our variant verse. We haven't
Mhm.
touched on that for quite a few weeks, probably a few months.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how are we, what's the base behind the idea? And we want to hear from you as an audience. I personally think it's kind of cool to drop little nuggets of information. Go, hey, this is why this worked this particular way. Such as like Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the
Mhm.
Rubik's Cube being created first, but not being released until after.
Mhm.
Stretch Armstrong, all those things, Brad, you know everything about Star Wars and then some. But we're looking at, again, kind of breaking those ideas down from a beginning to a what would happen next. So while we love Marvel, we don't get sued by Marvel, so we won't be asking the question, what if? We may be asking the question, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, and both of us like to do are those pitches.
Yep,
It's so much fun to kind of speculate on what
absolutely,
led up into something or what's going to happen after. And
absolutely.
we may even take Star Wars: A New Hope and
Yep,
pitch out what happened right before those events, and it may not be on the rebel side. Maybe it's something
absolutely.
that happened with Palpatine,
Yep.
or something like this. We're gonna look at
What
different
what
things.
if Anakin's dad comes back and go, where the hell's my kid?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would just
yeah,
told you it was a
yeah.
force,
What
but
what if this is Bear in the League? I just had this great idea. What if Qui-Gon is Anakin's dad and he used the Force to erase himself from the mom's memory?
oh,
I am not the child support you're looking for.
um, yeah.
Then
I mean, it's
he comes back
possible.
and take custody of the kid. Like, come here, Junior. Like,
That is definitely, yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah,
and then you know Obi-Wan's all butthurt. Like, wait, I thought I was like your apprentice. I thought you loved me more, master. Like, dude, like you make me call you that. By the way, okay. Last thing, because
yeah.
I know because I want to get. I want the early years of Mace Windu. That's
Mhm.
what I want them to give us for no other reason than this. Because I want them to use Samuel Jackson for the entire, like, de-age him, because we know you can do it. Because I want to see them sell Mace Windu, played by Samuel Jackson, to tell some other dude, like, wait, I'm supposed to call you Master. And
Um,
just to hear the by the way, Samuel Jackson, L. Samson,
yeah.
make sure we got that in. I would just love to see the rant that our boy Mace goes on. Like, I'm tired of these MFing Jedi in this MFing temple. Like, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. So did you ever watch Star Wars or Tales from the Jedi?
Yes, love Tales from Jedi.
Yeah, there's that episode where he I mean, it's pretty much how Mace Windu gets control of the Jedi Council.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yes,
he was
yes,
the Padawan of Count Dooku.
yes.
Very, very good, man. Very, very good.
So
Yeah,
does that mean that he also has the keys to the White Tower? This is what we're talking about, folks. Where
yeah.
we go like, well, what if we took Mason, dropped him into Lord of the Rings, since Christopher Lee is both his Jedi master, but also Saruman in the White Tower. So
Hmm.
yes, what would happen there? What if Sauron lost the contact?
Um,
That's gotta be itchy.
I
When
mean,
your eye is a flame,
so
that's gotta be itchy.
maybe that's the whole problem. Maybe he lost the contact.
He's maybe that the one ring is actually just a really tiny
The contact.
contact. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this whole
Uh,
deal. Yeah, like, I'm just really looking for it. And that's when he's in a bad mood. Similar to, again, if someone had just gave Darth a Clarendon, he'd have
right.
been much happier. You
Oh
know,
man. Um, Brian, should we say what the first movie we're gonna tackle, Prevenge and
please,
after
sir.
credit scene?
Yes, yes, go for it, sir.
So we're every month we're gonna have a theme for that
Yes,
month. Okay, so we're
yes,
gonna pick a couple different movies and we're gonna talk about them. The first movie that we're gonna do.
which is a classic.
It's probably one of
It's a
the
shame we've
funniest
done over a
movies.
year of these and we've not delved into it deeply. Go for it, sir.
We are gonna go into ludicrous speed, and
Ludicrous speed, sir.
we're gonna talk about
Yes.
Spaceballs. So, what are you gonna get? So, what are you gonna get when you watch or you listen to Revenge of the Nerds? So, you're gonna be able to watch it on YouTube. You're gonna be able to watch it on Facebook. Or I'm gonna wait a couple days before I put it out there for
Yep, yep,
Spotify and
yep, yep,
Amazon or
yep.
an Apple and Amazon. We're gonna talk about the movie, so we're gonna kind of
Absolutely.
set it all up. So we're gonna kind of pitch, fix, or ditch it. So we're like,
Yes.
hey, what are we gonna do, right? So we're gonna go into our prevenge. So and
Yes.
again, we're not gonna talk this through. I'm sure we'll each make each other's better because
Sure.
that's what we do.
Yep.
And that's gonna be part one, and
Yep.
then part two is gonna be the after that movie is over.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's kind of we're almost making our own little trilogy out of all
Yes.
these cool movies. That means if you have ideas that you want to hear Brian and I nerd out about, you
So
can let
what
us
would
know.
happen if Lone Star somehow became president of the United States of America and
Or the
decided that
galaxy.
the galaxy and decided that we would not go gently into the good night. We're gonna live on. We're gonna survive. And today is our Independence Day. Yeah. So that being a thing, yes, yes.
I mean, that'd be
Uh
awesome.
yeah, or for some reason Sandra Bullock's waiting for him when he wakes up from a coma. I mean, that's all the weird things that happen. That's all the weird thing.
Oh
Oh, he has to
man.
explain to people that he's not Bill Paxton. I am not Bill Paxton. By the way, R.I.P. I
Mhm.
am not Bill Paxton. Yes,
Bill Paxton, the only guy who's fought Terminator, Predator, and something else too.
and fought off a Twister with the almighty power of a J.C. Penney belt.
Right. Apparently they're making a sequel to Twister.
Really, I did not
I
know
read
this.
that. Yeah, I read that not too long ago. It's going to be like a Paramount Plus or
So
Peacock's like
okay, so
something.
okay, so how do you do that? Okay, Bill again. R.I.P. to Bill Paxton.
Mhm.
R.I.P. to Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
I mean, Sandra Bullock. Oh
Helen
gosh,
Hunt,
Helen Hunt is still around.
Jack
Uh,
Black.
yeah, Jack, but yes. And they killed off Robin Hood. So the men and Todd. That what I want. And again, this is what we'll do. So we're gonna bury this a little bit. I would love it if you know, uh, Carrie Lewis's character had a research assistant who couldn't make it on the trip and feels some kind of way and is gonna do his level best to break down Helen Hunt and the Storm Chasers, and
Yeah.
that person would be none other than Achu himself, Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
That would
Yes.
be epic. Yeah, because he's gonna always be smoking a cigarette. He's gonna make some jokes about people. He's gonna piss off half the audience. He's gonna be like,
Awesome.
"Fuck yo dot, fuck yo dot," and you can have Dot Matrix from Spaceball. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm throwing away all our good ideas. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
Oh
Okay.
man. Oh gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. So this is kind of what you're gonna get in 2023. The timing just kind of worked out to
Yep.
50 episodes,
Absolutely.
and you know what? So we're gonna try it out for a while. If it
Yep.
works, great. If it doesn't, we'll come back to doing what
Give
we
us your
do.
feedback, ladies and gentlemen, because we want
You
to
know,
know because this is your podcast. We want to know what's entertaining for you, what you enjoy, what
yep,
you want more of or less of. While you may hurt our feelings, we'll have our executive producer Stacy deal with you,
you're
and
right.
then it'll be just fine. It will be just fine.
I mean, I think we've proved it many, many times over that we can pretty much talk about nothing for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we are the Seinfeld podcast. We are the podcast about nothing. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
so yeah.
I said you and I are both better dancers than Julie Dreyfus. However, we do not have a federal agent, fake ass Captain
Mm,
America, on our payroll.
the full body dry heave.
Yeah, bruh, bruh. And apparently, could you imagine what it must be like to be married to Frodo? I mean Bilbo, not Frodo, Bilbo. Like it would just be like,
She's married. She's married to.
Remember because again, this is what you when you revenge stuff. Her character in the MCU is the ex-wife of the gentleman who
Oh,
played Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit. Yes,
yes. The light bulb just went out. I had to think. I had to think that one through.
yes.
Very good.
Or whenever he's whether he was Black Panther or
Mhm.
Wakanda Forever, because he's one of the few white actors. He is a Tolkien white boy.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. I think right there's a good spot
Yes, sir.
to put a pin in it. All right. So you could Brian, how can we talk to you? How can we get a hold of you, buddy?
Well, as always, I want everyone who has listened to our podcast and who is attempting to level up their awesome to please, please, please have a good day. You can always find me on Facebook at Brian Stephen Dennis. Feel free to give me a like, give me a follow, and we'll have fun online. And we look forward to always of leveling up your awesome with us.
All right. You can tweet at me at Fandemic3. You can message me on Facebook at the Fandemic. Now active on TikTok at the Fandemic1. You can hear my reviews and so much more. And we did already talk a little bit about our executive producer, Stacey. Okay. Awesome. All right. So if you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. You could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thefandemic. Brian and I will toast you on the very next episode. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, episode producer, a pre-venge producer like Stacy, or yes, you could be part of the Council of Nerds, starting at $5 a month. You can become
Or
a
if you're part of the dark cloud of man, just for no reason, Brad and I would show up at your place to work and go, Da Vinci, and just run away. Just run
yeah,
away.
and there may be dog poop involved.
There will most certainly be dog poop involved.
All right, or you could just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review, and let's keep the conversation alive in the comment section.
Always.
Get in there. Let's talk. Let's work some things out. What
Always.
TV shows did we miss?
Let's make it weird.
I'm sure let's definitely make it weird. So if your favorite thing is My Hero Academia, awesome. That's cool. So Brian, I think we have hit the max levels of awesome for the
Absolutely,
evening.
sir. We are there. We are there.
Let's end the show like we do every night on a positive note.
And again, as always, thank you so much for leveling up your awesome. Please remember to have a good week, and no retreat, no surrender, and Goonies never say die.
We're all playing the same game in life, just on a different level. Thanks for catching up. You're welcome for leveling up your awesome. Live free or die empty. Have a great day.